Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. Reigning supreme Eggheads?
For the moment.
At the moment. If you would like to work on a question from the Eggheads while you watch at home. Chris, what have you got?
Yes. Now, despite having had a career in stage and screen spanning over 60 years, Katie Johnson only achieved real critical acclaim and a BAFTA award for her penultimate film appearance in which 1955 film?
OK, thank you for that. Food for thought. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. Taking on the might of our quiz Goliaths today are Prenton Literati from Merseyside. Now, the majority of this team are members of a literary and debating society based in the Wirral. Let's meet them.
Hello, I'm Trevor. I'm a retired advice worker.
Hi, I'm Robbie. I'm a retired quantity surveyor.
Hello, I'm Harvey. I'm a retired university lecturer.
Hi, I'm Keith and I'm a retired personnel manager.
Hello, I'm Steve and I'm a retired teacher.
So, Trevor and team, hello.
Hello.
Great to see you. Great to hear about the Prenton Society. Trevor, tell us, what do you do?
Yes, well, it's been going since 1890 and we debate, we have talks by members and guest speakers on literary and other topics, including history, geography, science, wide range, actually.
Oh, great. And possibly music and, you know, the other rounds, that arts and books. And this sounds ideal.
Possibly we might touch on some of them
This
as well.
sounds like a sort of incubation system for potential quiz winners.
Hopefully.
Do you have a tradition of quizzing in the society as well?
No, we don't really. I mean, we do fun quizzes at Christmas, that kind of thing.
But
we
you
don't-
like knowledge for its own sake.
I think that's fair.
Does you find that an interesting concept, Eggheads? Knowledge just for the joy of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know your thing is movies, Trevor. You love films. Did you know the answer to Chris's question?
I did.
Did you? OK, I might ask you at the end of the show. All right. Good luck, challengers. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challenging team. If they fail to defeat the Eggheads, as you know, the prize money rolls over to the next show. Well, it was quite a while ago that the Eggheads had a sticky period, but they are really back and bouncing now, Prenton Literati. They've won the last 6 on the trot, so you've got to stop them. If you do, you win £7,000. Shall we get cracking?
Yes.
Brilliant. The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of sport. So one of you, please, against either Beth, Chris, Barry, Kevin, or the great Judith.
Robbie, would you take on sport for us?
I will indeed.
Robbie on
It's
sport.
going to be Robbie.
Sounds good.
Who shall we go for from this amazing lineup?
So any one of them. Who looks dodgy?
I don't think any of them look dodgy, to be fair.
Who's got weak knees?
I'm going to go for Judith.
You're going to go with Judith.
You do surprise me.
Oh, that's going to cause so much trouble, Robbie. OK, sport, Robbie versus Judith. To ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in our legendary question room? Good luck, Robbie. You've really helped improve Judith's mood today. Would you like to go first or second, challenger?
I'll go first, if I may, Jeremy.
OK, Robbie, good luck to you. Here we go. First question for our challengers. Medals were awarded for which of these sports at the 2018 Winter Olympics? Snowmobile freestyle, skeleton, or single sculls?
Single sculls.
Single sculls is your answer. That, to me, sounds like it could be boating. Is a scull a boat?
Rowing.
It's a rowing.
A rowing.
Rowing event.
Skeleton was the answer, Robbie.
OK.
Bad luck. Judith, your question. Which of tennis's Grand Slam tournaments is famous for its strict dress code for players, requiring that tennis attire is almost entirely white? French Open, Wimbledon, or US Open?
Wimbledon keeps up the standards.
Wimbledon is the right answer. You approve, do you?
Yes, I do. I don't like cricket in colours either. I think it's absolutely horrible.
Yes, I think there's something about white.
Yeah, white is much better.
Judith, well done. You're ahead. And back to you, Robbie. What is the approximate circumference of the ball in a game of field hockey? 23 centimetres, 33 centimetres, or 43 centimetres?
I'll go in the middle, 33 centimetres.
Any challengers know this? Is he right?
I'd have gone down the middle, possibly.
Yeah, it's tricky. 23 centimetres is the answer, Robbie.
OK.
So Judith can take the round with this question. On sport, Which of these English cricketers is a left-handed batsman? Judith. Is it Joe Root, Johnny Bairstow, or Alistair Cook?
There are an extraordinary number of cricketers who are left-handed batsmen and right-handed bowlers, or the other way round. I mean, they seem to do both, all sorts of things with both hands. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it's either Alistair Cook or Joe Root. I think it's Alistair Cook.
Alistair Cook. Now, if you've got it right, you're in the final on sport. And if you've got it right, Eggheads, is she right? They don't really know.
Don't say
They don't really know. They don't. Anyone know of this? So, Robbie, do you know?
I would have said it's Joe Root.
Anyone? Any challengers know? No. Well, you're the only one in the studio who knows the answer, Judith. You've got it right. It is Alistair Cook. Well done. You're in the final round.
Well done, Judith.
Happy days. Sorry, Robbie. She actually is quite a mean player on sport. A lot of this is guile, where she pretends not to be. So you've been beaten by our Egghead. You will be not in the final. Judith will be in the final. Come back to us. We'll play round 2. So as it stands, Prenton Literati have lost 1 brain from the final round. They lost Robbie. The Eggheads have lost none so far. And we play on, and it's film and TV. I'm looking at you, Trevor.
I think that's got to be me, Jeremy.
All right, good stuff. Which Egghead would you like? Can't be Judith.
I think I'm going to try Chris.
OK, so it's going to be Trevor from Prenton Literati on film and TV against Chris. Please take your positions. So, Trevor, we mentioned your love of film and TV.
Yes.
And do you have a lot of, DVDs or videos or whatever it is?
I've still got old-fashioned videos as well as DVDs.
So you've got a huge library, have you?
I've got a fairly large library.
Do they still work when you put them in the video player?
Oh, yes. I've still got a video player that works.
Wonderful. OK, so film and TV, Trevor against our Chris. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, Jeremy.
Trevor, here we go. Which of these films is mainly set in a prison? Is it The Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather, or Pulp Fiction?
I think that's fairly definitely, I hope it's fairly definitely, The Shawshank Redemption.
It is The Shawshank Redemption. Well done. So, over to you, Chris. What genre of TV show is Ricky Gervais' The Office? The Office. Is it sitcom, police procedural, or costume drama?
It's a bit of an acquired taste and it's a sitcom.
Do you like it?
Yes and no.
Sitcom is the right answer. OK. Trevor, who made her debut as the host of the British Academy Film Awards in 2018? Who was this? Dawn French, Emma Thompson, or Joanna Lumley?
I have to say I didn't watch them, and therefore it is going to have to be a punt. I'm going to try Dawn French.
You've gone the wrong way. I'm afraid it's Joanna Lumley. The great Joanna. Chris, who replaced Gavin Rossdale as a coach on the 2018 series of the TV talent show The Voice UK. Get this right, you pull ahead. Is it Tiny Temper, Mark Owen, or Ollie Murs?
I think Tiny Temper and Ollie Murs are too busy with their professional otherwise. So I'll say Mark Owen.
It's Ollie Murs.
Is it?
Still level then, after 2 questions. And your chance now to take the lead, Trevor. Here we go. The plot of the Guillermo del Toro film The Shape of Water takes place during which decade? 1930s, 1960s, or 1990s?
I've seen the film, Jeremy. My recollection is that it has a kind of Cold War feel to it. So I'm going to go down the middle and try the 1960s, Jeremy.
I haven't seen it, but I know you're absolutely right. Well done. 1960s is the answer, so you're ahead, Trevor. Let's see whether Chris slips up and slips out. Which Oscar-winning actor, born in 1900, had the middle name Bonaventure? Clark Gable, James Cagney, or Spencer Tracy?
Bonaventure Tracy. Yeah, Spencer Tracy.
Spencer Tracy's right. We go to sudden death. Always felt it might end up like this, Trevor, on your favourite subject against a very good Egghead. So it gets a bit harder. I don't give you alternatives. Which sport is the focus of the 1992 Emilio Estevez comedy film The Mighty Ducks?
I'll try baseball.
No, it's ice hockey. And back to you, Chris, for the round. How many Oscars did the actress Katharine Hepburn win?
9 in winter. 4?
What do you think, Trevor? Is he right?
I suspect he may be.
She had another 8 Best Actress nominations, but she won 4 times. You're absolutely right, Chris. You're in the final round. Sorry, Trevor, knocked out. Captain's gone. What next for our challengers? Come back, we'll play round 3. Katharine Hepburn. Can we do the 4? Go on, Kevin.
The first one was early in her career, in the early 30s, with Morning Glory.
Morning Glory.
Then many years later, she won in 2 successive years in the mid to late 60s. 67, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? And then 68, she actually is the only instance of a joint win where she jointly won with Barbara Streisand. And in Katharine Hepburn's case, it was for The Lion in Winter.
Okay.
And then, again, more years further on, 1981 on Golden Pond.
Ah, with Henry Fonda.
Yeah.
As it stands, Prenton Literati have lost 2 brains. I was going to say big brains, because you're clearly good quizzers, guys. But you've lost 2 from the final. The Eggheads are all still sitting there, a little bit too smug for our comfort. And the next subject for you is science. So let's knock one out.
Well, I think that's definitely going to be Steve on the end, my neighbour, retired science teacher.
Right, that's useful. And against which Egghead? So
is
Beth, Barry, or Kevin?
Go for. I think Steve is going to go.
We'll go against Beth.
OK, microbiologist. Steve from Prenton Literati, yes. All right, well, that's an unusual choice. Beth on science, her favourite subject. Steve versus Beth from the Eggheads. Please go to the question room. Steve, I reckon you're prepared for science.
We shall see.
So you taught biology?
Yep.
And general science as well?
That's right.
So chemistry, physics and so on?
A little bit of those, yeah, up to a certain level.
OK, so good luck to you both. We're on science, and this will be a good round, I think. Steve, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
Here we go. Steve, your first question. HCl is the chemical formula for which acid? HCl. Hydrochloric acid, hydrocarbonic acid, or hydrocalcate acid?
Well, I would be very disappointed if I didn't manage to recognise hydrochloric acid. That is my answer.
Hydrochloric acid is right. Well done. Beth, your question. Which of these scientists was born first? Alexander Graham Bell, Joseph Priestley, or Edmund Halley?
Bell was in the 19th century. Priestley, a little bit before that, I think. This must be Edmund Halley.
Edmund Halley is quite right. OK. Your question, Steve. Tinea is another name for which medical condition? Diabetes, ringworm, or short-sightedness?
Well, short-sightedness I know is myopia, so I can rule that out. Diabetes, sugar diabetes, don't recognise that. I think the answer is ringworm.
Ringworm is right. Well done. Beth, your question to catch up. The various species of which creature are split into 2 families, commonly known as two-toed and three-toed? Armadillo, echidna, or sloth?
These creatures are endlessly fascinating. You get 2-toed and 3-toed sloths.
Well done. Sloth is right. Nothing to choose between you at this stage. We're on science. And Steve, back to you. Which of these is a type of insect? Tsesebi, Candiru, Katydid.
Tessabe, funnily enough, I was looking at those 2 or 3 weeks ago in Botswana, so it certainly isn't that. I don't recognise Candiru at all, but I do recognise katydid. Katydid is my answer.
Katydid is your answer, or Katydid, I said. When you were looking in Botswana at Tsesebi, what did you see?
An antelope, a very dark-coloured antelope.
So very difficult to mistake that for an insect.
Yes.
Katydid is right. Well done. Steve has got all 3 right. Beth, you need this one to stay in. Here we go. Who wrote the early 19th century essay on the modification of clouds, in which the terms cumulus and stratus were coined? Beth, was this Francis Beaufort, Luke Howard, or Robert Fitzroy?
Beaufort has the wind scale, obviously named after him. Fitzroy has a shipping forecast area named after him. Luke Howard is the one I haven't heard of. So does that mean he's the one to go for? Yeah, going on the premise that he's the one I've not heard of and the other two are... Yeah, Luke Howard.
Good quizzing.
Yeah.
Well done, Beth. Excellent. So, level after 3. Kind of thought this might happen. Steve, back to you. Sudden death now. I don't give you alternative answers, okay?
Okay.
First released in 2009, which digital currency was invented by an unknown person or group of people using the name Satoshi Nakamoto?
The only answer that comes to mind is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is correct. Beth, James Prescott Joule, after whom the Joule unit of measurement is named, was born in which century?
Joule. Born in the 18th century.
The 18th century, so the 1700s in other words.
Late on.
Any kids help us here?
19th.
19th is the answer. So you're wrong, Beth. Sorry, you've been knocked out. And Steve, well done. Turning the tide here for our brilliant challengers, the Prenton Literati. One more round to play before the final. Let's do it. As it stands, Prenton Literati have lost 2 brains from the final. The Eggheads have lost just the 1. And the last subject before the final is politics.
I think that's definitely going to be
No-brainer.
Harvey.
Yep.
OK, Harvey. Who'd you
and-
take on? Now,
and
it's
we've
got to be
got-
Barry or Kevin.
2 quiz giants, both of them. I think on balance, maybe Barry.
All right. We're thinking Barry.
OK, good stuff. Harvey from Prenton Literati will take on Barry from the Eggheads. Kevin then left to the final. To ensure there's no conferring, please, for the last time, take your positions. OK, so good luck. Harvey, would you like to go first or second?
First, please.
Harvey, at a conference on the 23rd of April 2018, which political party announced it would introduce 4 new bank holidays if it won the next UK general election? Labour, Liberal Democrats or UKIP?
I'm not sure, but I'll plump for Labour.
Labour's quite right, yeah. Barry, what is the first name of the woman who married David Cameron in 1996? Francesca, Samantha or Pandora?
Oh, it was the extremely lovely Samantha.
Samantha's right. OK, back to you, Harvey. Which Secretary General of the United Nations was born in Egypt? Utant, Boutros Boutros-Ghali or Kofi Annan?
Boutros Ghali.
Boutros Boutros-Ghali is right. Which seemed like he had one Boutros too many. Not necessary. Your question, Barry. What was the surname of the Anglo-Irish countess who, in 1918, became the first woman elected to the British Parliament? Now, was this Nowak, Markiewicz, or Kowalski?
Unfortunately, she wasn't allowed to take a seat because she was a member of the IRA at the time, but it was Countess Markiewicz.
Yes, it was Countess Markiewicz. Well done. A huge story hangs thereby. OK. Your third question, Harvey. You're playing well. The so-called Battle of Saltley Gate, a mass picketing of a fuel depot, took place in which UK city, Harvey, in 1972? Birmingham, Cardiff, or Dundee?
Saltley is part of Birmingham, so I'm going for Birmingham.
Bang on. Birmingham's right. Made short work of that. Barry, your question to stay in. James Shooter Eade served as Home Secretary under which Prime Minister? Stanley Baldwin, Harold Macmillan, or Clement Attlee?
Now, it wasn't Harold Macmillan. I don't think he was Labour. Shooter Eade. I'm just trying to remember if I can remember who Clement Attlee's Home Secretary was in the late 40s and early 50s. I'm going to go for Stanley Baldwin with not a great deal of confidence.
Let me try Harvey on this. Do you know Harvey?
Oh, it was Clement Attlee's Labour government.
That's why you couldn't remember the name, Barry.
That's
Clement
why.
Attlee is the answer. Well done, Harvey. You're in the final. You turned it around here. You've levelled it up. Gives us a really exciting final in prospect. Please come back to us. We'll play on. So we had Countess Markievicz there, and Sinn Féin, not IRA.
Of course, yes.
But also, I think, Barry, it was her decision not to, or rather
Yes.
her party just don't let her stand. So that was the policy, was it, of Sinn Féin, that you don't take your seat in the British Parliament? Okay. So this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads are not going to be taking part. So that's Trevor and Robbie from Prenton Literati, and also Beth and Barry from the Eggheads. Would you please now leave the studio? Harvey, Keith and Steve, you are playing to win Prenton Literati £7,000. Good jackpot today. Chris, Kevin, Judith, you're playing for something that money can't buy, which is just to keep this Eggheads run going. You're playing for the shirt. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer, gentlemen. So the question is, can your 3 brains take down these 3 over here? Make light work of them. Keith, would you like to go first or second?
We'll go first, please.
Okay, your first question. Good luck, team. Who is the chief protagonist of the Tomb Raider video games? Ellen Ripley, Lara Croft, or Katniss Everdeen?
Lara Croft.
Is that
Lara
right?
Croft.
I haven't got the faintest idea.
I haven't a clue.
Go for it, Keith.
We think it's Lara Croft.
Brilliant, Keith. Great play. Other 2 baffled there, yeah?
Absolutely.
Came through the middle there, Keith. Well done. Fantastic. So just Ellen Ripley is Alien.
That's
Is that right? And Katniss?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Okay. Eggheads. What is the Spanish word for beer? Bocata, cerveza, or manzana?
Dos cervezas, por favor. Cerveza.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. That is cerveza or cerveza.
Yeah, you're right. Cerveza is beer. Bocata, by the way, is sandwich.
Okay, yeah.
Manzana, apple.
Apple. Yeah.
Apple. That's right. Challenges. Which of these countries shares a land border with Argentina? Peru, Ecuador, or Bolivia?
I'm fairly sure I think it's Bolivia.
Bolivia, yeah, it is, I think.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I think so.
Take it on.
Certainly not Ecuador.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Peru. I think
No,
I
it's
think
not.
it's Bolivia.
Well, I think it's Peru.
No, I think
Because I
I
will
think
be
you're
able
right,
to-
Bolivia. No, I think you're right.
2-1 Bolivia.
What?
Go Bolivia.
Bolivia.
Bolivia is the right answer. Well done. Challengers, you've pulled ahead.
Well done.
Well done. The challengers pull ahead with £7,000 that we're playing for. Your question, Eggheads. How old was the English King Richard III at the time of his death? Richard III, was he 32, 52, or 72?
32.
32,
He was born, he died at, obviously Bosworth. So it was
Oh, Richard
1495, and
III.
he was born in 1452.
yeah. It's 32 then.
So 32.
Yeah.
He was 32.
Born in,
1452,
died in,
1485.
32's right. Okay, challengers. Nothing wrong with your final so far. Let's keep this going. For You, that's the title, taken from the soundtrack of the film 50 Shades Freed, is a song by Rita Ora and which One Direction singer? Is it Liam Payne, Niall Horan, or Harry Styles?
Well, presumably they're all in one direction.
I think they probably are. The only one I know is Harry Styles, but I mean...
Well, yeah, likewise.
I haven't the slightest idea.
Harry Styles.
Want to go for Harry Styles?
Blind guess.
A blind guess, and it's the only name we recognise, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, well, they were all in One Direction, that's true. He's obviously the most famous one, but he may be a bit busy to do this. Who was it, Eggheads?
Liam Payne.
Liam Payne is the answer. So, Eggheads, to take the contest, what is the name of the chapel in the Vatican Palace which contains the Michelangelo works, The Conversion of St. Paul and The Crucifixion of St. Peter? Is it the Clementine Chapel, Pauline Chapel, or Nicolene Chapel?
Well, in the same sort of situation as with One Direction here, in that I only recognise one of those as being in the Vatican, which is the Pauline Chapel or Pauline Chapel. After
Right.
Paul VI, so there may well be
Well,
Clementine and Nicolene
who
chapels.
was the Julius II? Julius was the Pope when Michelangelo. Who was after that, or before?
It's true. Let me say, because there was when he was working on in the Sistine Chapel. You had Julius II.
I just wondered who came after.
Yeah, that might even be misleading. My own reasoning on this would be to go for the one that I actually know is a Vatican
Well,
chapel,
let's go for it then.
which is the Pauline Chapel. So,
Okay.
so I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
No, okay, let's do that then.
Yeah, similar problem here to what the gentleman had with One Direction, in that there may well be Clementine and Nicolene chapels in there, but the only one that I know of is the Pauline Chapel, which was decorated by a number of leading Renaissance artists. So I think on percentage basis, have to go for the Pauline Chapel, Pauline or Pauline.
And this is not the one with the big thing on the
No,
ceiling.
it's not, that's the Sistine Chapel, but there are a whole succession of these smaller chapels around and about it. But that one exists, we know. So.
The correct answer is Pauline Chapel. We say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. Maybe in our analogy that Harry Styles was the Sistine Chapel.
Yes, in that sense.
And then so it was right to rule that out.
See that,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry you were hit by a question on One Direction there. That's brutal. But anyway, thank you for playing. You did well. You came 3-3 in the final.
All right.
Good performance, great politics and science quizzing. But the Eggheads have done that thing that's coming naturally to them. They're in really boisterous form at the moment. The winning streak continues. The challengers don't go home with the £7,000, so we keep it. Well, we roll it over to the next show. Eggheads, I'm wondering if you can be beaten now. Doesn't look like it, does it? Chris, you had a question.
Yes, I did, yeah. Top of the show, I asked, despite having a career on stage and screen spanning over 60 years, Katie Johnson only achieved real critical acclaim and a BAFTA award with her penultimate film appearance in what 1955 film?
Well, I was thinking I should go to Trevor on this. Trevor?
Hello. Yes, I think, reasonably confidently, it's The Lady Killers, and what a terrific performance.
Is that right, Chris?
Indeed it is, The Lady Killers, where she played the little old lady, Mrs. Wilberforce, who completely outwits Alec Guinness's gang of robbers.
Oh, that's her. OK, got it. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Great question. Loads of great Eggheads questions. I hope you got that at home. Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. There'll be £8,000 to play for. Until then, goodbye.